Hi everyone, welcome to the RISC Industry Colloquia today. Before we begin, let's take a moment to reflect on the land that we're on and its history. We acknowledge that the land that we are meeting on for the Colloquia today is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We are most grateful and respectful for the use of this land. And we have with us for the colloquia today Mr. Rohit Gupta. He's the senior software engineer at GEICO. And I'll hand it over to you whenever you're ready, Rohit.
Sure. Thanks, Mai, and hello everyone. For someone like good day, good afternoon, but here in I'm sitting in the Eastern New York time zone, so it's at 12 p.m. for me. Um, so yeah, let me introduce just myself, my little bit background. I have like more than 23 years of experience in software development, like application development. I worked for a lot of companies like Microsoft and Oracle, and currently I'm in GEICO here. Yeah, I worked on a lot of other technologies like AI and Azure, like JavaScript, .NET. There are like bunch of DevOps, and yeah, it's really fun to see like the industry is growing too much with the allocation of artificial intelligence. So yeah, I can directly jump on my today's topic. So today's topic is like AI-driven risk horizon. Basically, like we do insurance for like for risk coverage. Uh, so I would like to ask like one question, like what do you think, like when the risk arises, like what is the main reason of risk? Like why we fall into the risk? If somebody want to answer, or I can just answer it. Anyone, any luck? My or someone?
Yeah, if anyone has an answer to that question, please unmute yourself, or you can just put it in the chat if you don't want to unmute.
Okay, yeah. I can answer like at the end of the session. We can reserve like 10 minutes for FAQ. But okay, so risk is like basically whenever we see credits, like whenever we involve credit, then there's a risk. So credit means like our mortgage, our premiums, wherever we buy any stuff like house, if you buy house also on cash, it is basically a credit because it is a physical materialistic stuff, and we don't want to corrupt our house, or we don't want any kind of damage. So it's kind of like basically a credit associated with us. So that's why we have to measure our risk, and we have to involve some kind of assessment where we can cover our risk with the help of insurance policy. So that's how the whole insurance comes in picture. Wherever there is a risk, we have insurance. Um, so in enough like in my last 4 or 5 years of career, I see a lot of changes in insurance sector, especially with AI. So I just wanted to highlight some things. So I created one paper. So this paper is basically published in few conferences. So that's why I just picked this paper, because this is the latest development. So you can see the latest transformation of the insurance sector is with the help of like artificial intelligence and Azure cloud and Duck Creek kind of technology. Uh, Basically, the Duck Creek is the middle tier um, of the of the like different application zone, and we always expect some kind of like domain expertise whenever we are writing application, whether we can write by ourselves, or the whole middle tier, or we can take the help of already existing some experts. So then this Duck Creek technology comes in picture. Um, there are some other companies also, like Guidewires and Assurance, and there are some other small companies. So you can utilize those middle tier as well if you're writing some insurance application. So this is purely a technical session, kind of like how we mitigate our risk and how we manage overall to involve the customer satisfaction and the complexities of the digital age. Um, so let's see, like what is our main product actually in Duck Creek. Um, so it is a purely middle tier uh, application, and you see like we have different kind of department, right? Like policy. Uh, Policy means like a simple policy, like whether it could be a pet policy or home policy, or or your health policy, your commercial policy. Commercial means like any kind of like business policy, or your rental insurance. So those kind of like policies comes under this section. Rating means like so based on your credit assessment and risk you want to cover, uh, organization, the insurance companies basically rate yourself, like how you are performing in your job, how your credit rating is, how you wanted to pursue your future goals, like what are your investments. So based on all these things, the rating companies basically rate your risk. So it's a rating of not like credit rating, like 700 or 600, like the rating we have in general in US. The rating here is like basically the rating of risk, like what underwriting company or underwriting department want to rate, how they wanted to rate your risk. So underwriting is basically a department, or you can say like in as per the US insurance domain, it is a group of people who basically write your insurance policy based on your all your personal information, your historical data, like how you perform well, how you once again how you once again, yeah. So how you did well in your past historical sessions, and like if you surrender any policy in past, if you have like if you underpaid or if you overpaid, based on your historical insurance specific domain character, they rate yourself, and then they used to write the policy and for the particular duration. So that is something we comes under rating. The billing department is basically the billing. It handles just with money, the monetary purpose, like how your what is the terms, what is the term of your insurance, what kind of like payment you have to do. Is there any facility to pay uh, uh, in the form of like mortgage, sorry, in the form of like a specific like installments, or is there any partial payment or those kind of things, like all the billing related um, uh, stuff used to take in this particular department. And the claims is like once you have, once you got something, if you want to claim, like once you got accident for auto insurance, or for your home insurance, if you have to claim. So the claim department generally handles all like claim related queries and claim related like functionalities. So that's why this whole Duck Creek suite, or the whole insurance product basically belongs to these four departments. And based on your customers, the number of customers, it could the product and the code and the application varies in size. So this whole comprehensive product suite comes under the Duck Creek Technologies. It is just a middleware company which are the domain expert. Um, And you can see like industry insurance and how the distribution management work, who are the consumer, who are the producer. So all things evolve under this particular flow. Um, so this is how the insurance application works. Now, the role of the subject of this paper is like the role of modern technology. So this is just a high level paper because the in-depth paper is submitted already. So this is the high level of like kind of like abstraction of the paper. So I can just try to explain in the brief. So how we are leveraging AI for the risk assessment and the fraud detection. So that is the number one purpose of the modern technology in insurance. So I can just give some example. Like here I wrote like the in health insurance AI powered uh, like any signal or any specific job or any service or any like nowadays like we created like a lot of agents as a service agents like AI agents basically. So what AI agents are nothing is just like public service, public window service or web service which is hosted on cloud architecture. And what these services do, they keep remodeling themselves. These jobs keep like reinforcing the data what they're receiving on the daily basis, and based on the data analysis and based on the available different LLM models, they used to keep improving their accuracy. So that's why the agents as a service are in huge demand nowadays, and they are really doing a great job. So for a health insured person, it's very important. Like if somebody have some serious concern, like some life-threatening issues, something related with his lungs or something related with his brains, or maybe like high level of diabetic or any problem. So there are some devices which you can bind in your hand, and those devices will continuously forecasting and pushing your data. And our these agent AI models actually they can give alert, just like in iPhone. Now we have an iPhone in our watch. So they basically tied in the background. They tied with the insurance company, and that's how they give the accuracy with the help of AI algorithm. So this is one of the perfect example to read the pattern and which help to reduce the risk. And the underwriting department um, like keep improving themselves. They are able to write a good policy and reducing errors and ensuring like the premium calculations is correct. So it helps a lot. The other example is in our regular like for example, if a customer is coming on the insurance portal and he just wanted like he's not able to find some good information on the portal. Like he is struggling to find like what is the premium of my policy, how my policy would look like, how like what are the documents I have to submit, and is there any compliance, is there any state or city or country level regulations. All these things like they can do on the fly with the help of chatbot. So nowadays, like AI is hugely used in the chatbot. It's not like a kind of like help desk, but they're basically um, a a service like a bot service which runs on background on some algorithm. So they know like what is which state the customer is coming on that portal, or what is there any history. So all those things they track, and they make sure like those chatbots get the proper signal and get the proper questions from the customer, and they can route the customer to a specific goal. So so this is another example. um, I mean, for this example I used one a Python program. So you can see like these tools use TensorFlow and pattern for building machine model to analyze customer data. Our workflow is basically to integrate. So this is a POC which I created for this paper. I just included some of the snapshots here. So this is the workflow where integrate AI with a customer relationship management CRM system to automate underwriting and claims processing. So this Python script uses stick learning and predict risk scores based on the historical claims data. So this Python, you have to like this will automatically read your historical data, like historical claims data, basically like what kind of claim. Because like for example, if a person who drive his car very fast, like always above the driving speed, there is a chance like he has more claim than the person who never got ticket in their entire life, or who never drove like above the speed limit. So that's why it's just a claims historical data. So you can see like it's a very simple program, like credit score, age. Yeah, so this credit score is like rating a score from the insurance company. Then I said like we used to keep reinforcing our models, our data, um, with the help of AI, with the help of LLM models. So that's why you can see like this module is basically the training the model, uh, and parallelly it is basically estimating the accuracy, because it should tag with accuracy. The accuracy should improve with the new updates, with new modeling of data. So this basically portion update the model. Then the next module is basically the prediction of risk for a new customer. If there is no claims historical data, then we just analyze his income, his surroundings, where he live, what kind of job he's getting, what is the pay, how much dependence they have, what is the age, all this like health metrics. There's a lot of data. So we just predict our model to for a new customer. And then the ultimate goal is to just uh, analyze the risk. So based on his credit, we assess the risk, and then which reduce like manual errors, and speed up like claim processing, and like enhances customer trust through transparent risk profiling. So there are like a lot of advantage. The best thing is like the hassle of the documentation. It's like everything is like automating the signing of the documents, along with the automated portion of the application. So this comes with a very smart profiling of the new customer as well as like old customers. So this is like high level. You can see the flow of the application. Now let's talk about like why we use cloud in that application. So we use cloud because of like the number one thing is like a scalability. um, since we don't know like for if there is a if the company is a new starter, we don't know like how much customer it will come in a 1 month or in a 2 months. So we just want some kind of like platform where we can scale the data, where we can uh, uh, scale the possibilities, um, and scale the data. The way it works with the cloud, like you can go with any open cloud. Also there are some Google Cloud, Azure, with Microsoft, and then there's a AWS. So nowadays they are coming with up some their ready-made module as well. And if you're using agents as a service, they have some ready-made LLM models, and it is like not costly. It's based on the usage. So that's the number one priority. And number one reason to use the cloud service to scale your demands and supply. And of course, the security, of course, is you can, if you have any good data which you want to hide, which you want to secure from outer period, you can, like uh, get like better security. They have like a lot of different layers of security based on the pricing model. You can analyze and you can get it done. So uh, this is one example also. Yeah, of course, like disaster recovery is one of the very major point. Disaster recovery means like like some flood came, for example, if you're on your data center, or some kind of like, COVID emergency came recently, or any kind of like power failure or anything like, or data security breach. So these cloud companies, they have a very standard protocols for disaster recovery exercise, and they put data on like more than one places throughout the world, and they basically distribute your data on the different centers. And in the case of emergency, they can pull those data from like from cold memory to the hot memory. So that kind of like several protocols is there. So that is one of the major usage for cloud. Um, Now the example is, like if an American insurer uses Azure to store or analyze IoT data from connected device, such as like telematics to assess driving incident time during a hurricane, Azure scale. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like nowadays, there are some insurance company in USA, they put some kind of device in your vehicle, and they call as like telematics. So what this device do? The device is not connected to internet. It's just a connected to satellite, and based on your device movement, based like GPS satellite. So based on the way you are driving, the way you are, like pressuring the gas, your pedal, and applying the brake, and based on your driving, skill, they assess risk on the real time, and they share the data in the form of telematics to the company software, to the company application. So uh, and the way it works with the help of IoT devices, it can nowadays it is connecting to the agent as a service, and there are a lot of background service which manage those data and predict some alerts and risk, and like based on those risks, they estimate the pricing and the goal of the policy, and the underwriting department write those policies. Um, so this is like the framework which is like in the place. Um, Now let's talk about the implementation, like how it got implemented. So you can see like the Azure Blob Storage. So Blob, why we use Blob Storage? Because it's for very less pricing. It has like two kind of tiers, like cold tier and hot tier, and in under both tiers they have different kind of like levels, like tier one, tier two, tier three, and based on the demand and supply pricing, they just use those storage and the historical customer data. Azure Machine Learning, of course, for the predictive analytics, and Security Center for threat detection. Workflow, we can create, like we created one function to process real-time IoT data, and we deploy that function, that module to on Azure, and tied with this storage, and we use like LM model for prediction of pricing and risk. So this is the code of that. Like it's just like high level, like workflow or algorithm for that particular application. So you can see like Azure function, you can create, you can connect your blob service in your function, then you can process your incoming IoT data, like how the data is getting value, how whether it is, you can put some kind of like validation if the say some like if the data is valid or no, uh, if your device is working fine or no. So all these check marks you can put on the place. Then yeah, then based on this data, you can score the risk and analyze the data, analyze the risk. So uh, the here so the code which I showed earlier, basically this is just a detail of that code again with the help of storage and Azure functions. Um, and of course, the outcome is to secure data handling and compliance with regulations. Uh, and scalability in the case of like suddenly if the demand comes like more, or like if they need more servers in case of emergency during the regular practice of backup, and if like for example if one node stop working because of some firewall issue, or they have to switch some proxies from here and there. So all these operational efficiency could be could be enhanced by using, like this AI on the insurance application. And definitely it improved like a lot of like more than 25, we've seen like more than 35%, 40% improvement uh, in operation efficiency for the insurance company with the help of these IoT and with the help of these AI integration. So Duck Creek is capable. I mean, I'm not promoting Duck Creek. It's just a use case for my application, so that's why I included this Duck Creek. Duck Creek, like it's basically um, it has like efficiency to use AI and all these modern IoT uh, devices to integrate very seamlessly with the Duck Creek modules. So that was one of the agility we have, and we used in our most of the cloud-based platforms. Um, so this is an example of insurer used Duck Creek to automate claims and reducing from 30%. And this is the same thing which I told you earlier. So, and the implementation, so with the help of Duck Creek, so this is like more like we are going one more level deeper down what I explained earlier code. So just for like, integrating your Azure services, you can like integrate your Azure services to the Duck Creek policy and claims module, and Duck Creek will handle like all your so Duck Creek. So why we use Duck Creek? So like if somebody don't know like what are the like what are the internal insurance specific domain specific like day-to-day operation, like I will tell you for example small example. So let me see, like if you want to add a driver on your vehicle, or if you want you got a child and you have to add his him to to your insurance policy. If you have marriage, any of the, so you try to add in him, but then you saw like he's not capable, or his age is like you have to wait for 6 year or 5 year for a good rate or something. So then you can wait for then, and then suddenly you saw like there is a state regulation which stop you to adding a vehicle of like which is like a 30-year-old. Like let's suppose like the insurance company don't have license for insure like 30-year-old vehicle because it has a huge premium. So there are like tons of rules. I would say there are like tons of if and else for the regulation purpose for the insurance company. Those all rules are very much properly handled in the Duck Creek, this policy and claims. And they are like internally tied up also with a lot of other features. Um, so, so these rules and these tasks are properly handled in the Duck Creek policy and claims module, along with like forms, documentation, billing, like all kind of modules they have. And of course, like we are integrated with Azure and AI services as well nowadays. So, so this is that's why like the uh, analysis of the workflow, analysis of the like the workflow of the day-to-day operations basically, and to track those workflow, the Duck Creek is very well suitable in that picture. So that's why the implementation uses the Duck Creek. Um, so there is a small scripting for that, like how we can integrate Duck Creek. There are some endpoints basically. If you integrate Duck Creek in the AI module and those endpoint, you can just call with the help of new client like text handling client, and then um, once you integrate Duck Creek, then you can once you got like claim, then you can simply integrate the claim module. Uh, it's just to like showcase like how you can automate to reduce your operation cost and avoid any manual intervention for claiming any policy or billing issues, or any kind of like these operations. So what are the impact on the insurance industry basically? So impact means like how much profitability we are expecting. So profit at least like 35 to 40% we are expecting profitability and operational efficiency as well, um, uh, as per the recent trend. Because In USA, every small city have like a lot of small vendors, which like there are like thousands of insurance companies here. So every city, like a small city that a population of 5,000 people, you see like there are some 10 or 15 small insurance companies. And those insurance companies, some of are like farmers insurance companies, some are like the pet insurance companies, some are like auto, some vehicle, some are like your mortgage insurance, if you take any home loan or something like that. So there are like a lot of small segments, and they are still doing a lot of manual work. So we implemented softwares in one of these small company, and this was a real feedback, like how they improve their efficiency and they reduce their workforce as well with the help of a lot of automation and of course with the help of like AI rules and those service security principles. They actually much more. Like beneficial for them, and they and lots of companies are like on highways and on the roads, and they have like hardly one or two staff to to handle like operation, and they have like somebody have like 500 clients, somebody have 300 customers. So I'm talking about that level. And now you can, of course, like the bigger companies have like bigger network, bigger customers. So of course, the percentage of the improvement is less as compared to the small companies, but that's a real picture. So you can see like the customer engagement, profitability, operational efficiency is on our sample data. Our use case have this kind of like metrics when we observe, and this is a part of our implementation. So you can see like in all the three areas, there is a huge improvement. Operational efficiency, customer engagement is definitely is the highest department, because we don't have to like call manually. It's all on the email, and uh, lots of things were automated. They don't have to sign like some 20 to 25 forms. So right now, like in a lot of insurance companies, they have um, it is kind of like it's a breakthrough technology for us. Um, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about like challenges and mitigation strategies, like how we can like so I said like we our use case was a very small insurance company. Um so our plan is to like basically to create a SaaS product, and like not our means like the this particular paper. I'm referring our means like this particular paper and this particular presentation. The context is this particular presentation. So if you create a SaaS for one small company, uh, you can just like engage a lot of other companies in your same SaaS. So that is the model here. Like high implementation cost come to a fraction of smaller cost for other smaller insurance company, and they can adopt phase by phase, like rollouts, and if they have any in-house database or something, they can jump on the a cloud-based architecture, and like the way we talked earlier, with the help of AI and Azure, we can definitely minimize the cost. Um, so skill gaps, of course, like there is a that was one of the challenge, because most of the people um, work on the computers, but they really don't want um, to share their data to other companies like AI and like all other cloud servers. There are some solutions like virtual cloud network, but there I think their cost and their benefits are basically a big gap to resolve these kind of problems. So it's a hesitation, or you can say like it's a legacy problem. What could be one of the issue to implement this kind of solution? So yeah, of course, the training. The solution is like training. How you train your customer, how you make sure like they have like proper network connectivity, and they have like they can reduce their workforce, they can reduce the dependency, and they can like organize some workshops. So those kind of things, solutions for there. Ethical concern is basically, yeah, ethical. Some people don't like AI. They just want like do everything by themselves. They don't want to rely on machine. So that is also one of the challenge we saw or we might see. Um, so yeah, you can. The solution is like you can conduct audit. You can um, take care like those learning models. You can give them like some regular reports. Like some Power BI reports, like what was your earlier transaction, what was your earlier profit, and what is the current profit. So all these um, like before implementing the application and after implementation, you can compare those reports and you can share to the customer. So yeah, of course, the cybersecurity threat is one of the major concerns we have, because in our daily life we heard like lots of time like this data breach and that data breach. Recently, one of the biggest internet provider in US, that is um, Xfinity. So they got one data breach, and I think like 3 million customers data were breached as per some of the reports. I don't know like the the accuracy of the report, but that's what we heard in some newspapers and all. So yeah, so these newspaper, these newses are read by general public, like our old people. So these insurance companies are basically running by old people. They have like 25 year of history, 30 year of history. So they don't really want to disturb their models. So that is one of the biggest challenge. That's one of the legacy problem we have. Um, so, uh, so that's why they just want everything in their old desktop, old computer. They can use, like Excel and just do like manual stuff, and they create their office on the roadside so that anybody can come and they can talk to them. So these kind of like some legacy problems are there. Cultural resistance, yeah, of course, like the digital transformation needs cultural change. And of course, there is a resistance always for culture. So I already talked about this. So yeah, so the small education training programs, some kind of like pilot programs would definitely help. Strategy of successful implementation. Yeah, we can adopt a change management framework like phase by phase model, I would say, like step one for this month and step two for next month. So kind of like this small framework and a small model we can implement our softwares. Collaborate with the IT partners like those companies which have a big domain expertise in AI and cloud. Um, we can take consultancy. We can take like sessions from like security people as well, and see like what are the latest trend in the industry, how these AI agents are secure, how this like how like where their data warehouse are, how big the companies are, what is the history, what they think about this uh, migration from legacy data to the like to the latest advanced data in the cloud storage, and of course like what are their risks, what is a recovery model? I said like disaster recovery, but there are some other backup models as well. Like old is like there are some people still use to store their data in-house like floppy disk or the storage devices. like floppy disk was earlier, but nowadays they still there are a lot of small companies they used to store their data in like big storage device like 500 TB device or 1000 TB device, so they store their data in there and they keep somewhere in their old house, and these kind of things are also happening. So yeah, you can you can invest in training and uh, upgrade their technical skills, uh, uh, like the gap which you identified. So these kind of like strategies you can use for implementation. Yeah. So this is me. That's it. So I think, yeah, I covered all my topics. I think we're right before times little bit. But this is just a high level things like what we like try to achieve in our paper. And this is the original paper was like almost like 150 pages, and it is submitted to one of the conferences which was approved. I just extracted a high level and created this document for this session. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Rohit, for such an amazing presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
Um, when you showed the chart with the profitability, the customer engagement, and operational efficiency, the profitability part of it, you mentioned a bit of where it comes from, like cutting costs and well, I'm wondering if it's the operational efficiency is the main place where the profitability comes from, as like having like a lot of the job automated by AI. Or is
Mhm.
there somewhere else, like maybe the quotes are more accurate when they use AI um or something else?
So right now, if you see like if you talk about AI, so operational efficiency, of course, act a huge weightage here in this transformation. But we are working like very closely in this AI transformation world. We are working with a lot of AI agents nowadays, which are deploying on Azure cloud. So, the real myth is that the customer engagement have the biggest benefit in this AI transformation because customer was
Yeah,
really getting values. And I would say like it's not like operational efficiency means like we should not understand like it's cutting jobs or something, like if we should welcome the AI models. I am seeing this transformation of AI from like man-made things that this will take like maybe like 2 3 years, or some it will take some time to transform completely from manual to AI. And of course I'm expecting at least like 5 times or 6 times jobs in the whole world once this AI transformation is settled down, like once this
yeah,
Nvidia and Amazon and all these even the SpaceX and XAI also have the huge plans, all these Elon Musk companies. So all the big players, Microsoft, like Oracle, of course. So all these big players have a lot of plans. They're just like going very slow. They're understanding these models and the way the data center is currently growing in whole world. And especially like AI data center, it is a huge opportunity for the whole world to, to just adopt and learn. And we should like happy that everybody have like their own workforce now in the form of agents as a service, the SaaS model which we have right now with the AI. So we have like you can create your own agent to like if you're to see like if you can create your own agent to see like what is going in the insurance sector. Like you can create your like for example, I would say like there is a Replit, right, company as it's a big company. You can create a free app in Replit, and you can create your own agent and deploy just free of cost. And you can do like anything. Like for example, if you want some good news, like hey, I want uh, a good insurance pricing, or I want just latest news on AI models. So you can put some keyword and you can say him like, hey, I want this news in daily in my inbox. It's at 9 a.m. So it will collect all the latest AI models of the news or any launched model or AI companies, and it will create a task and it will supply the list to your email. And that is completely free of cost right now, like with a small task. So basically, we should happy that we have now agents, or we have now like everybody has like employee basically. You are basically acting as an entity, and we have like now machines. We can get our small works done with the help of those agents. So I'm seeing like that. Like, you don't have to worry about go and, like browse information or, and, like get it done by yourself. There are a lot of things like you can do, you can take help of these agents and you can just get it done. So I'm in a mood to just wait and watch for another 1 or 2 years, 3 years, basically 2 years. Let it transform completely, and it will definitely increase at least like 5 times the employments in the whole world. That's what I'm
So it
expecting.
seems, yeah, it seems that there's a shift in the types of jobs that are going to be required rather than, so some will
Yeah,
probably be phased out and be needed less, meanwhile other ones will probably be needed more. Um,
yeah,
yeah. Also, I had a question about those AI agents that you're mentioning. Um, I understand like ones that are able to like develop reports for you and stuff from like the internet, but are they also able to integrate with like your calendar or your email and your Excel
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that?
Yeah, of course, of course. Like lot of AI companies have the flexibility. You can give your username and password of your email, and like you can create an any email. Like for example, if you can create a separate email for your job, you can create a separate email for your family, and then integrate those
Yeah,
agents in those emails and schedule all the things. Like schedule your like your electric bill payment. You schedule your kids school meetings. Schedule your
yeah,
future any research job, right? So you can integrate those jobs, and that doesn't need any kind of like presence of your so to do those jobs. You can integrate those AI
yeah,
agents to your Excel, to your Word document. You can create,
yeah,
if you can create a whole new business, for the CRM purpose and everything. Like earlier, we have like a lot of CRM like Salesforce and all. So you can create the whole CRM with the help of these agents. You can
hmm,
create your own virtual voice agent, which will receive your home call and which will receive the first level of notification and help you to handle like how you want to reroute those navigation or those requests to some particular endpoints. So there are a lot of things are happening. So basically, yeah, you can integrate to any of the softwares.
yeah, yeah. So you think the technology is getting there where you can trust
Yeah.
the agents to do these types of jobs for you?
Yeah, it is entering into the real world, and AI is really helping, and AI is like really bridging the gaps. I would say, like previously, the to use softwares or to get the benefit of the real softwares is only uh, like possible by the big companies or big like those families which have some money. I mean, but nowadays even a normal person, if they don't have money, they can create their agent, and they can they can put their life on the fast track. So
Yeah,
that's the beauty of this AI enabled and agent enabled applications nowadays. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for the insight.
Yeah, no problem. Yep.
Any other
um
questions? You can put the questions in the chat if you don't want to unmute yourself. If there are no other questions, I guess um, maybe you can like scroll down to the info of yourself, and like our interns can maybe note that down. If they have a question in the future, they can reach out directly to you. And thank you everyone for joining us for the colloquia today on such a rainy and gloomy day in Toronto. And we look forward to having you again for the next colloquia.
Thank you, Mai. Thank you, everyone, and best of the luck to whole Colloquia team and whole whole bunch of like groups and whole organization to arranging this. Yep. Thank
I
you
think
again.
there's
Yep.
one other question in the chat for you,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to quickly answer that before we before we let you go.
Okay, so AI browsing, but you can talk about the critical side of how does become the problem. Um, so basically, yeah. So what I can say, like this pricing is really like very imbalanced. Um, so because I told like this is the transformation is happening. Like for example, if I take example, like there is one tool like called as like Cursor. It's highly getting utilized nowadays in a lot of application development companies and a lot of individuals, and like they are charging like $200 per month for one account. And like XAI, it is like $30. The Grok is $30. So we are seeing a lot of some people are offering like $10 per month also. Some people are offering like free service. So I can say like this is a big ship nowadays, and the volatility is high. Once we have like all the model, all the maturities on the place, definitely it would be like much cheaper, and based on the like data warehousing cost, like these chips, like every another week there are some new chips are getting introduced in the market, and they are like getting 2x or 3x better than the last chip, and they then the pricing is just getting revised. So it's kind of like the huge volatility, and everybody wants to jump into this huge ocean and get the piece of the butter, and that's why the pricing is not stable. So maybe like down the line, if we like just wait and watch for like another 1 or 2 years, we can see like once the big player is saturated, and once the noise become smoothen, we can see definitely a very huge relaxation, just like the cloud. But I still remember in like 2006 or 7, when I first attended the Azure cloud session from Microsoft. um, they were expecting like like $2,000 for one of the cloud API at that time, and now it is in cent. It's just like another like 20 years. The one API call is like it's in cent basically. You can just pay like $10 and you can do like thousand of API calls in the Microsoft Azure cloud. So it's all depend upon like how this whole domain settle down. So maybe we have to wait for a while, and I would not comment on the ethical or non-ethical thing. See, ethicity comes from like uh, the human society level things, and these companies are like for profit. Um, I really like ethically, ethically you can say like this whole education should free, and like so there are a lot of comments and discussions we can do on these things, but I don't want to really comment on that part. But I'm expecting like this pricing and this will be settled down, and we can see definitely in another 2 or 3 years we can see these pricing would be come down to in the terms of cents. At that time we really don't matter like if I have to pay like $5 or $2 for a month, so then we just avoid this ethical and all this, because right now it's impacting. So that's why we are thinking these things. But yeah, but we are expecting some good, some like almost like about to zero pricing in the another 2 3 years.
All right, thank you for the quick answer to the last question, Rohit. We won't take more of your time. Thank you everyone for joining, and have a good rest of your day.